Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh Boy is down with us. Toddy King and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Once again, thank everybody for coming back. Today is Roadium Radio episode 8. We've been on for 2 months. Yo, I'm very thankful and I'm very glad that you guys are still tuning in. Today I have a very special guest, but before we get into that guest, there's been a lot of people DMing me on Instagram, messaging me on Facebook, and on the Twitter page about certain Chicano rap artists that you guys want to see. Here's the thing. I've been trying to get a hold of those guys without mentioning any names just yet. I've been trying to get a hold of them, and many of them that I have gotten a hold of have just flat out told me no. Okay, some have actually said yes, I'll work with you, give me a date, and I appreciate that. But some have flat out told me no. So if you DM me and I respond no, you know that's the guy who told me no. But several of them, because I do want to get more Chicanos on here, I do really want to push that envelope, but when they're telling me no, I'm running out of guys to ask. So once again, I try to bring good content to Roadium Radio to keep you guys entertained. A lot of you guys complain about the video clips that I've been posting, but you know what? I post up highlights from the video so that you guys can, if you guys don't want to watch the full 2-hour interview, you guys can watch a little 5-minute clip. So, but without further ado, I would like to thank Mr. D, for coming out here. Once again, thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it, man. So, D.
Who told you no, man? Fuck them.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I don't want to throw them under the bus, at least not yet.
All right. Let me know.
Yeah, a couple of guys actually have told me, yeah, you know what? I'll let me look at some of the dates. I'll get back to you, etc.
They can't be that busy.
Yeah, exactly. One guy told me, let me see my schedule. Another guy took a couple of weeks just to tell me no. But I try to get him on here, man. But without further ado, bro, we don't need to talk about that.
Let's talk about something else.
Yeah. So where was Mr. D raised at?
In the San Fernando Valley, West End.
San Fernando Valley, West End.
818.
Is that where you always have lived?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. And what was it like growing up? What was that, 70s, 80s, around that time?
Not that old.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just asking, bro.
80s, I guess, 90s. Growing up in the gangster days, with hardcore shit back in '92.
Okay.
What I mean? These kids nowadays have no idea what shit we've seen and what we've been through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What elementary did you attend?
Elementary,
yeah.
You're gonna put me on blast already. I went to an elementary called Our Lady of the Valley. It was a Catholic school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I want people to see a different side of maybe possibly that they've never seen of you.
Yeah, I was an altar boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man. Yeah. That's dope. Well, it's funny because I grew up as a Catholic boy as well, but my family was the type of family that never really went to church, but éramos muy católicos,
Oh, of course.
So, what junior high school did you attend?
Same as
it was the same thing. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, okay. And high school?
I was a football player. Went to a Catholic football school too, and hurt my knee, and I started slinging keys. No, it's Mac 10s. No, but yeah. So no, but I tore my knee my senior year.
Okay.
And I was headed to a D1, but
Okay.
Shit.
What?
So my whole life got rearranged. So I started getting behind the microphone, and we could that could go on because there's a DJ Let Loose. Was the DJ of Blood of Abraham. I don't know if you remember that group.
Yeah.
Turned into the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
Will.I.am and the rest of
those guys. As a matter of fact, I believe they were Blood of Abraham was related to Jerry Heller.
Yeah, his two boys were in it, but the other guys were Will.I.am and a couple of other Black Eyed Peas and DJ Let Loose.
Okay.
So DJ Let Loose played football with my older brother. and that's how they knew. And Easy had just passed away, so that's how we came. Southland came in.
What position did you play in football?
I played fullback.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any good year? How many years did you play in high school first?
4 years.
4 years.
I played football since I was a kid, 7 years old.
Okay, and the last year is when you tore up your knee, pretty much.
Yeah. I never got hurt until my senior year.
Wow. Well, you know what? I always wished that I played football and I had opportunities. I went to a high school where in the 80s they were pretty much known for football, which was Banning High School.
Of course.
And they would play Carson.
Carson and Banning, yeah. Dorsey was good back then, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I had opportunities to play, you know what, but I was too busy ditching, getting involved with girls and DJing. And I never got involved. And every year my team was going to my school was going to the championship. So I kind of missed out. I wish that I could have stuck and played. So when people tell me that they play sports, I think that's dope, man.
Yeah. Sports is the key. Yeah. And anybody listening, raising your kids, keep them in sports.
You know what? Keeps them off the street, man.
Of course.
That's why. But we'll get into a little bit of your coaching a little bit later.
Yeah.
So growing up in your home as a kid, what type of music, and you being obviously going to a Catholic school, I don't know if your parents forbid you from playing.
I got in trouble by the nun when she found I had too short on one side and NWA on the other side. It was
too short and NWA.
It was, and I remember the nun playing 8-ball. A Mexican almost wrecked my shit, and they're like, "Oh, it's talking bad about Mexicans. It's talking bad about black people." And she didn't realize it was a black guy singing it. I don't know what she realized, what she thought, because it said the N word.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, this is probably 1988. So.
Wow. Okay. So at home, what type of music would your parents play?
Blues and oldies.
Really?
Yeah, my mom was oldies and my dad was blues.
Really?
What I remember of him, he wasn't around too much, but.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. And your parents, are they originally from out here?
Yeah, my mom's originally from New Mexico. My dad's from LA.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I got 9 brothers and sisters, 10 counting me. I'm the youngest.
Really? See, that's one thing that we actually have in common, because I have 5 brothers, 4 sisters.
I have 5 brothers, 4 sisters.
Wow, and that was pretty much like almost right in the middle. So
I have six boys, 4 girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. You know what? I bet you, at least for me, I can speak of myself that our Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmases were off the hook, man.
Oh yeah.
And that's funny because I've seen you throughout the years, but I didn't even know this. So I like to learn a little bit from people.
I'll bet you nobody even listens knows this. It's not, you're asking questions I've never been asked before.
Well, and like you know what's funny? Because sometimes when guests come here, people have preconceived ideas about them.
Of course.
And after they hear their story, how they were raised, what they've been through, it changes their mind about how they see you.
Of course.
So you said blues and oldies. Like what kind of oldies? Was it rock oldies?
No, like Chicano oldies, like Angel Baby, and the stuff that like the
that we still that
was her favorite, Rosie and the Originals, because she grew up. She was born in New Mexico, but she was raised in San Diego and Logan Heights. So, and Rosie Hamlin was from down that way.
Do you guys still have family in New Mexico at all?
Not probably, but they're mostly all in San Diego.
Wow. So now, at what point in your life would you say you got inspired to get into this music thing?
Probably Kid Frost, when you heard, La Raza.
La Raza?
Yeah.
And about how old were you at this time?
1990. I was a kid, probably in 7th, 8th grade.
7th, 8th grade? Yeah. Wow, okay. If you could just speak a little bit more into the mic.
Yeah, I'm just thinking,
All good. So 7th and 8th grade, you say that's when you heard La Raza. Mm-hmm. Now, is it safe to say that, like, and I'm using this guy's words, because I stay right here in Wilmington.
Yeah, of course.
SA neighborhood in the 80s, it was all Bloods, Chicanos.
Yeah.
Okay? And I remember when that song came out, I remember this one dude who goes, "Man, have you heard this song?" He brought me the single. Uh-huh. And I looked at it and I said, "Oh, Frost." Now, I knew him from the 80s from a song called Terminator and Rough Cuts.
With Ice-T, yeah.
Yes. So when I heard that song, not only did I thought it was different, but I thought to myself, okay, we have a voice. And it's over the airwaves.
Yeah.
And this guy said, man, this song fucking rocked my world. I thought it was.
It changed the game. And then Frank V came out with Mexican Power. It was over. That was like,
Right.
whoa. And then,
Now before Frost and La Raza, if you will, movement came out, was there any other artist that you can say I possibly grew up listening to and it helped shape and mold who I am today?
well, the reason why I'm sitting here with you right now, because of you and High C, that's one of my favorite albums of all time, that SKANLESS album.
Wow. See,
what I mean?
that's something else I didn't know.
Yeah, that was incredible, And it was a Chicano rap album by you and a black dude, but it was still a Chicano rap album. I looked at it like that,
Wow.
So the album was incredible. I can name like 3 or 4 songs still off that album. Yes, 2 SKANLESS, Sitting in the Park, and Jack Move. Well, I don't think that was on the original though.
Right.
And then I'm Not Your Puppet.
That's dope,
and you had
man.
that Scooby Doo thing. What was that? What song was that?
Punk Shit.
Yeah.
Punk Shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's probably my favorite song. That one and Two at a Time.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know what's funny? Because I'm humbled by that compliment because, again, we were never ever looking for a record deal. We were just doing mixtapes. And somehow we ended up getting a deal.
Yeah. It tripped me out. It wasn't on Profile. That's what I was like. Well, I always wondered why it wasn't on the Profile Records.
You know what? Because the first people that actually approached us was Disney. Mm-hmm. So they offered us the most. And it's funny because after talking to like Quick, Second to None, AMG, and to me, those guys are West Coast legends.
Of course.
We got offered the most. I just thought how weird that played out.
Well, High C was probably, besides him and Quake, they're both incredible rappers.
Yeah. Okay. So you would say High C, or at least that album was the influence. You mentioned NWA as well.
Of course, that was the root of all. But Ice-T, 6 in the Morning, when that was you can't forget 6 in the Morning. That was that's what started it all.
The whole Power album.
Yeah, before that, 6 in the Morning.
You're right.
Wasn't on Power. That was on on the Ryan Page, was it?
Yeah, yes, that one, and then there was another song that he had. I know because I remember
my favorite Ice-T song is probably people don't even really remember that song. Is a song called "Pill It Castback." You remember that song? That song, man, that's as gangster as it gets.
No shit.
Yeah.
I got to go back and listen to that, man. Because I remember him from. He had a song called "Cold Wind Madness." This was like early. This is when he was before even the Electric Boogaloo.
As you say that, Breaking Electric.
Yeah, then he came out with "Reckless" in that, and I remember I thought that was fucking hip hop.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Then he came out with, if I'm correct, 6 in the Morning.
6 in the Morning, police at the door.
Yeah, that was dope.
Fresh Adidas through the bathroom floor. Across the bathroom floor. Yeah.
So here you have all of these albums that are pretty much, if you will, influencing you. Was your mom okay with you purchasing these, or how did that come about?
Yeah, she wasn't tripping. She's I have 5 older brothers. Half of them were in prison at the time, so she wasn't tripping about me listening to some.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
See, coming from a Mexican family, my mother would always say, "Bájale esa música de negros." That's what she used to say,
Well, we were raised on black music. We like black music. We like white money, and we like Mexican food. So
isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that we could listen to oldies and they're all black artists, but we don't. It's almost like we don't even look at them as they're black. I told this one guy one time. I said, "Man, those are like our oldies. It's almost like we took over it."
Yeah, people, Brenton Wood. Half black people don't even know who Brenton Wood is.
You're right.
I was talking to some black guy, and I was like, "Yeah, you ever listen to Brenton Wood?" He's like, "Who?" They don't know about Brenton Wood. they like the
Luthers.
Yeah, and what's that one? I can't think of his name. They love this one guy. I forget his name. Damn it. I'll think about it later.
Oh, Teddy Pendergrass, somebody like that?
Of course, Teddy Pendergrass and a few other people. But, Frank, what's his name? Man. Damn it.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come to me.
All good. So now you're raised in the San Fernando Valley. Now you're being shaped and molded by this music around you.
Oh, yeah.
And about what point?
Frankie Beverly.
Okay.
Maze.
Yes. Maze. And Quincy Jones.
Yeah, Quincy Jones and Herbie Hancock, all that type of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, what was the thing that you wanted to get into first? Was it rapping? Was it production? What was the thing that actually?
I wanted to play football.
Okay. And then after
the first thing, it was production. It was I had this we go a story about how I wasn't even supposed to be rap on the first album I put out called Deep in the Game. I had a rapper named Kryptonite. He was a young kid, and he ended up being a good producer, and a lot of people probably know who he is. But he was supposed to be the rapper.
Okay.
I was just I found him, and I was just the production pretty much.
Okay.
And he had backed out on me and wanted to do something else. He didn't want to do what we were doing. So we had already purchased all the beats, and my brother's all, go ahead, you do it, Dad. I'm like, fuck. Man.
Okay. now, what would you say? Well, how did you get introduced to as far as equipment is concerned? Like, did you go to somebody's house and what is that drum machine? What is that keyboard? Like,
yeah. This dude named Jim Davis, this white man, and he showed me how to do it all.
Okay.
How to record it, how to mess with Pro Tools, because Pro Tools just came out right then. We did the first album was on 2-inch, but the second album was on a Roland 1880 or something.
Okay.
That was the second album, and then we went into Pro Tools.
Okay. Now, how did you meet this man?
I met him through an ad in a paper, I think. And
Really?
He had a studio in North Hollywood.
So at this time, you had.
We were at Echo Sound. Echo Sound had went under.
Okay.
Or we were paying too much at Echo Sound or something over there in Glendale. You ever been there?
Right. Yeah.
And that's where they shot at that one dude over there.
I actually recorded my very first record in 1987 at Echo.
Okay.
With Jinx and a guy named Dazzy D.
Okay.
But I guess what I'm trying to get to is, what made you say, I want to record?
Somebody needed to put the 818 on the map, because we were like getting clowned on.
Really?
It's like, even Cypress Hill, Boy from the Valley, whatever you're saying, when he was dissing Ice Cube.
Right.
A lot of people wanted to disrespect the Valley, and like, oh, them boys out there ain't about nothing, what I mean?
Right.
And when we were raised, we thought, we're the hardest gangs out there.
Right.
The neighborhoods out there in the Valley were no joke.
Okay.
On the Chicano side, they realized that, but I don't think the industry and the people and the rest of the world knew that.
Recognized
it wasn't no soft area.
Okay.
And I remember I did talk to some big whatever producer. They're trying to sign me whatever, and they said, "Oh, you're from the Valley." They looked down at that. Oh, well, maybe you shouldn't even tell anybody you're from the Valley, because all the people are from Compton and this and that.
Right.
I'm a man, and I don't want the deal if I can't say where I'm from.
You know what it probably was? Okay, because a lot of people, when they hear the word Valley, they think of the movie with Nicolas Cage, The Valley Girl.
Oh yeah.
And they just think of all white people.
Of course.
So when
Encino and Sherman Oaks and
right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like somebody claiming, I don't know, just a neighborhood where it's pretty much where people think that it's just all white people.
Correct.
So, but little did they know. So
little did they know I'd be arriving.
Right. So they so that encouraged you. Now, did you say, I want to rap? How did the pieces of the puzzle come together where you said, I want to get into the studio? Who did you meet first as far as a rapper?
I told you Let Loose, and then Big Tone, a bass player from Death Row in Big Tone. Okay. And then Tupac had just died, so it was one of Tupac's people. Okay. And Let Loose and him knew each other. A lot of Ruthless people and Death Row people all knew each other. They're all pretty much the same label.
Okay.
So with those, I knew Big Hutch back then, but I didn't start working to him more recently.
Big Hutch from Above the Law.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we first studio we worked at was Hollywood Sound. You ever been to that one?
No, not that one.
That one's over there. It was on Vine and Hollywood, I believe.
Okay. Now that was the very first studio.
That was the very first studio. I ran into Young Dre right there. You ever heard of Young Dre from Kitchen Crips?
Yes. Now what songs, if you remember, were you guys getting ready to record at that studio?
Sliding Through was the first song we ever did.
And who was the feature on it?
Just me.
Just you. Yeah. Who did the production?
Let Loose.
Okay, the same guy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And was that the only song at that time?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so you went from that studio to, you mentioned Echo Sound.
Yep, and that's when we did Deep in the Game at Echo Sound. And the Badass was right there in the other room, and he ended up jumping on the song.
Okay.
We had a bunch of weed in the studio. He started smoking weed, and we told him, get on a track.
That's the way it works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's you, Badass, if I'm correct?
Correct.
Anybody else?
No, just me and Badass. And KV was on the hook. KV's Snoop's uncle.
Okay. Yeah. So you have several songs now, different studios.
Mm-hmm.
From there, it went under. Then you went to
North Hollywood.
North Hollywood.
Well, yeah.
Okay. And now, at this point, did you release any of those songs yet?
No. It took me a while to release all this. Took like 3 years to do.
Right.
This is 1997. I didn't release the first album until 99, and then 2000, the actual release.
Okay. So now you have several songs that you took about 3 years to put together an album or compilation or?
Correct.
Okay. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't know is that back then we needed 2-inch.
Yeah, those big ass tapes.
Yeah. Today, honestly, I'm thankful for technology because we can do shit on a laptop.
Not me, man, because
Really?
too many people could do it.
Well, see, okay.
Back, you know what I mean?
We can get to that, okay? But back then, I think it was like $125 for a 2-inch reel.
Correct.
That we could possibly only fit in maybe 3 songs.
Correct.
Okay.
Like 15 minutes.
Yes, 15 minutes, and you had to buy a shitload of them just to do an album. That's not even including mixing it down and mastering.
That's right.
You know, and back then, if we didn't have cassettes or CDs anymore, we had to use a DAT, digital audio tape. That's what we were doing early on in the game, using that. We thought like that was the latest thing. We had a portable DAT player that we would put the little cassette. The cassette actually looked like a cassette player from a answering service.
Yeah, DAT, yeah.
So I remember we were in Texas.
Digital audio tape.
Digital audio tape. And a lot of people were like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's DAT. We thought we were the shit because we kind of had this new thing.
Yeah, Tascam DAT player. Probably
Yes.
too.
So here's what happened. It got so hot in Houston, Texas, that the fucking tape stopped. Like, it literally stopped in between songs. High C looks at me, and I was like, I don't know.
What do we do?
And we couldn't skip. You actually had to rewind. So, and then back then, the way we edited, we had a splice.
Yeah, with the razor.
Yeah, today when you say splice, like many times my boy John, when he's editing, I'm like, well, just splice that shit. You know, I'm still using old terms, but
No, I know what you're talking about.
so now you go from 3 different studios. You're in the 3rd studio now.
Correct.
Okay, is that where you finished everything, or did you move on to somewhere else?
Man, we probably moved into about 4 or 5 different studios. Time we finished the first Deep in the Game album.
Why was that? Just looking for better prices?
Better prices, but my brother ended up getting busted, so I had to finish the thing on my own. Because he was helping with the money.
Okay, so he was somewhat of a manager, possibly.
He was some in the money man. He was
Okay.
He was a pharmacist.
Okay. Oh yeah, technician.
Yeah.
So, and obviously he believed in you.
Correct.
Okay, so you were the main rapper at this time. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so you said it took you possibly about 3 years to finish this album.
Yes.
Now, when it was done and it was mixed down, finished and ready to be released,
We had about 25 songs.
really.
Yeah.
Did you try shopping it around?
I didn't even know what that was.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And for those that don't know, shopping it around is back then you took it to record companies
yeah.
and see if they bite and offer you something.
I didn't even know. I just wanted to get music on a CD. That was my whole goal.
Okay, and so after you finished your album, what was the name of the album?
The first one was there's a disc, and people might say, "Oh, it was Red. He put out a Red album." It's a real rare album. It's double CD, Mr. D. I told you I was deep in the game.
Okay.
I had a song called "I Told You" and "Deep in the Game." So it was a double CD, so I named it Double Names.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a double CD back then in 1999. Pretty much way ahead of my time. And then so I ended up meeting with Young Dre was on it. A few songs.
Okay.
Young Dre needed to go pick up some money from Ground Level. That was a distribution place. I was sitting in the lobby, and the owner of Ground Level walks in, and Rick Colcutt. I start talking to Rick about football. Mm-hmm. He went to Hart, and he's telling me about they were a good football team. I don't know if you were Hart High School.
Yes,
they were incredible. They had a lot of pros out of there. So we're talking about this football, and this and that, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Basically, afterwards, and I'm waiting for Young Dre. He's like, "All right." Well, he's like, "What do you do? Do you make music?" I'm like, "Yeah, I made a CD. You want to hear it?" And I wasn't trying to shop it or nothing.
Right.
He calls me from Seattle because he was up there with Sir Mix-a-Lot, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, what are you gonna do with that CD?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "You want to put it out?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why don't you knock it down to one CD and let's put it out?" I'm all right, and he's like, and he paid to put it out and did it, and that's how the Deep in the Game we told you off, and it was the Deep in the Game, and then finally it was blue, the right color, you know what I mean?
So when you had the double CD, well, I guess you said how many songs did you have? About 24.
There's about 24, 25 songs on there.
How many songs did you end up cutting that you end up putting it on?
We ended up putting about, I think there was 17, 18 on the.
Okay, and now do you remember what year or the month that it was actually released? No.
The year was 2000.
Oh, it was 2000. Yeah. Okay, that's dope. I remember 2000. I think I went to the Michigan. Brian Greasy was playing against Charles Woodson was playing against Ryan Leaf, Washington, out at the Rose Bowl. That's when I remember.
I think Tom Brady was on that team too, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah. No, that was the following year.
Okay.
Following year. But But yeah, so now the album drops. How did that do for you?
It was cool. It did incredible and changed my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what was the response that you got from people? Whether it be positive or negative?
People weren't so critical back then. They were just happy to see it, a new Chicano rap. Everybody loved Chicano rap at the time. It was great. It was, I went to the swap meet, the Santa Fe Spring swap meet, to give CDs away.
Dope.
And then they said, well, how much to buy them? I go, what? What do you mean buy them? And because Rick had said, here, take a few boxes,
right?
And go seed the market. And
right.
Seeding the market means just just to give away a few. And he's like, and one guy's like, how much for a box? I'm like, what do you mean a box? He's like, all 100 of them. I'm like, what do you mean? It was this guy named Jersey. He later became Youngster and he passed away, R.I.P. But he's like, I go, what do you mean a box? He's like, the whole box. I'm like, I don't know. What do you usually pay? He's like, $5. And he's like, I'm like, okay, buy the box. He gave me $500 right there. And that's when I knew I could make money in Chicano rap.
Wow, that's dope. But how many records do you think total, if you can remember, you think you sold off of that one album?
Off that record, off that one album?
Yes.
Probably about 70,000 of them.
About 70,000. How far do you think that record got nationwide? Or
It went worldwide.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, and that's one thing that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and that's your own hustle you pushed.
Yeah. That's between out of my trunk and through the SoundScan, through the big stores.
It's funny because I remember old NWA stories where Easy would tell me how he would sell records out of the trunk of his car.
Yeah.
And that's how we had it back then. Today, you mentioned it earlier, it's a lot easier today.
Yeah, it's too easy.
And it takes, I believe, in my opinion, it takes away from the game.
Yeah, any kid next door could be a rapper. Any nerd next door could be a rapper and talk tough on a microphone. Back then, we had to prove. We couldn't be no punk. We had to go out our trunk and visit every single neighborhood, enemy neighborhood or neighborhoods people didn't know what you're doing. And I go into swap meets in Bassett and El Monte, wherever I was at. I had to go in San Gabriel Valley, San Fernando Valley, Pomona, and San Diego to Bakersfield, all over. I had to go everywhere, pretty much Northern California, but we had to go deliver our CDs.
Right.
And we've had problems, of
course. And today you could just email it.
It's a punk's game now.
It is, and the sad thing about today, because my son, he's a youngster and he likes a lot of this new music. Okay, cool, I get it. I understand. I educated them, the old school classic legends,
Correct.
But he likes some of this new music, and the other day he was watching something on MTV. Now I had to explain to him again that, mijo, you got to understand that MTV was for music.
Yeah, what's MTV now? Is that like this?
It's all just chismes. It's fucking, what do you call it?
Ridiculous stuff.
What do you call those shows, John? Where it's pretty much just
propaganda.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And they have all of these SoundCloud rappers on there that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
But they're treated like celebrities now, and I don't get it. And my son, he doesn't call me a hater like this new generation because I call it the way it is. So he'll just say, well, why don't you like it? Why don't you like it? And I try not to bash his music so much. But what I do ask him, I said, mijo, maybe you should answer me on what is it about them that you do like.
Yeah, it's all pretty much sounds the same. It's all auto-tuned voices and
yes,
and sounds all computer.
Snoop Dogg said one thing. Actually, I think he forgot what interview it was, but he said it several years ago. He said in the 90s there was not two rappers that sounded the same.
It's true.
He said everybody had their own style.
I remember first time I heard Snoop. I was watching that deep cover movie.
Deep cover, yeah.
And it was at the end of the movie, and he came on. I was like, I heard Dre, and that 187 on Undercover Cop.
Right.
And then he came on. I was like, man, who's that? I never heard nobody sound like him before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. He came out with his own style, and that's why he hit.
Yeah.
Today, it's like everybody sounds the same across the board.
Yeah, it's true.
So and he said, it goes back then, if you sounded like somebody, you were biting.
Yeah, it's kind of it was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was. So,
like,
you sound like so-and-so. So, anyways, we're going to take a little break. So we're going to press pause there, and then we're going to continue to get into it. But once again, Roadium Radio, episode 8. I'm here with Mr. D, San Fernando Valley. We're going to go to 2 of his songs. We're going to go to a commercial. And after that, we're going to come right back and continue this dope conversation. So once again, stay tuned, enjoy this music, leave a comment, negative or positive. Honestly, I don't care because you're going to do it anyways. So go ahead and do that. Come right back, call a friend, text a friend, page a friend, slap a friend, somebody, and tell them to log in. All right, Johnny boy, take us away. Thank you.
Could have been mine,
Mr. D,
could have been mine.
Crypto on the track, Nate Dogg.
You should have been mine, you could have been mine. You wouldn't be mine, but instead you wanna play those games. You would have been mine, but now you're just crying. Now I don't wanna take that chance, no. I roll through the streets with them thugs and hustlers. I roll. Now you wanna act like you know, but you should have been
From
mine.
the day that I met you, I knew you had style. Walked right up, you replied with a smile. Asked for your name, numbers we exchanged. Called you up, then you started with this game. Strange, how I knew it wouldn't even last. Said too much about your life too fast. Everything came with a story about cash. You said you like it, I just laughed. I ain't dumb, girl, I know you're down to ride. You're trying to get yours, I'm just trying to stay alive. But that's how it goes, the strong survive. But back then I wished you were mine.
You should have been mine, you could have been mine. You wouldn't be mine, but instead you wanna play those games. You would have been mine, but now you're just crying. Now I don't wanna take that chance, no. I roll through the streets with them thugs and hustlers. I roll. Now you wanna act like you know, but it should have been mine.
Don't have to be, but you should have been mine. It was always the right places, never the time. City lights is where I climbed to the fortune and fame. Like Frankie Valli had you close enough to carry my name, but yet far, so far to understand how I felt about my dream to have a head stashed under my belt. I needed help when I looked, all I seen was myself. So it ain't surprising that it's you on the cell. Call me up just to say, Sleepy Milo, I love you. I got radio play, so I don't really trust you. I don't really want you, but you still should have been next to me while MTV showing off my
You
crib.
should have been mine, you could have been mine. You wouldn't be mine, but instead you wanna play those games. You would have been mine, but now you're just crying. Now I don't wanna take that chance, no. I roll through the streets with them thugs and hustlers. I roll. Now you wanna act like you know, but it should have been
Now
mine.
up on stage, magazines, front page, interviews on the news, now you're calling every day. You say that you love me, but didn't realize I had motives, working on my enterprise. Wanna see me saying that you miss me, thinking back 2 years ago, how could this be? Used to diss me, now you got the vapor, stuck at the bottom with the haters and the fakers. I can't relate, I'm on the grind. You don't cross my mind, it's a waste of time. Listen to my CD, I guess it's fate. First you got on a song with Nate.
You should have been mine, you could have been mine. You wouldn't be mine, but instead you wanna play those games. You would have been mine, but now you're just crying. Now I don't wanna take that chance, no. I roll through the streets with them thugs and hustlers. I roll. Now you wanna act like you know, but it should have been mine. You could have been mine. You wouldn't be mine, but instead you wanna play those games. You would have been mine, but now you're just crying. Now I don't wanna take that chance, no. I roll through the streets with them thugs and hustlers. I roll. Now you wanna act like you know, but it should have been mine. Mine, 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 mine.
No, gangsters get lonely too, boy. But I'll be there for you. I know gangsters get lonely too, boy.
Mr. D,
But I'll be there for you.
Southland. I know it's rough, I know it's tough. Girl, I'm trying to avoid them cuffs. I know your last man's doing life and he never treats you right. Even though you stood by his side, a good highness hard to find. They all seem to be the same, evil ways and no shame. I need a gangster girl in my gangster world. Baby, I'll treat you right, because I'm tired of the lonely nights. And it's never been cool to treat a real woman bad. If you find one, you'd be lucky. Seems they always dug me.
No, gangsters get lonely
now you sit and you phone me, wondering who's that's holding me. Told you before I need support with this gangster life. I want some more, no little girls. What I need's a wife to watch my back when I'm out making all rap deals. Someone to catch me if I fall when these homies ain't real. I know there's something I love about this life I live, but now it's gone and left me lonely for whatever I did.
I know gangsters get lonely too, but I'll be there for you. I know gangsters get lonely too, but I'll be there for you.
Good looking girl, I know you got my back. The way you carry yourself, the way you know how to act, it's all good, even though I'm just up from the hood. I said lucky for me, you fell in love with the G. I can't wait to get home, hope I see you soon. Knowing night after night, up in these hotel rooms, I just sit and think about nothing but you. This is a lot of shade of brown, and gangsters get lonely too.
I know gangsters get lonely too.
Slide with me, get high with me, side with me, all night with me, come ride with a G. It's the brown super baller, got ways to make you holler. Everything's top dollar, from the Lex to the juice and parlors. But I need a girl, not just the average, someone to change up my world, settle down and have kids. Even though my rap on the streets is I'm a pimp, I need you not to trip while I handle my biz. Let me do what I do while I hustle and grind. Let me dip, stack my chips, and you can have the rest of my time.
I know gangsters get lonely too, but I'll be there for you. I know gangsters get lonely too, but I'll be there for you.
Lonzo, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You sure?
Motherfucker, I'm ready, goddamn!
Cause I'm a player motherfucker named DJ Quick. It's a full-time jack move. Billy Joe, yo, homie, make the track move. Freestyle, meanwhile, we keep the beat shifted. Sweat dripping, girl is in the middle when you chill. Walked in the house, got shot. 1, 2, 3. Motherfucker, don't down this shit. This is it, y'all. Grand Daddy.
Cut. We're good? Once again, welcome back to Roadium Radio. We just heard 2 songs from Mr. D. And you know what? Everybody that is commenting right now and is logged in, first of all, thank you. I don't care if you leave something positive or negative, but you know what? You're still logged on. And that's dope for me. So that's cool. You know what? But without further ado, once again, Mr. D. Now, what were the songs that we just heard? Gangsters Get Lonely Too, if I'm correct?
Correct. Gangsters Get Lonely Too. Shout out to Art LeBeau.
Okay.
For, making that the hit it became,
Okay. Who was on that track?
That was me. And the second verse is Sleepy Marlowe, DWTX RIP from Lighter Shade of Brown.
Lighter Shade of Brown.
And Little Blackie.
Okay, Little Blackie.
And then Little Jamie was on the hook.
Okay, and the other song?
Should Have Been Mine. That was me and Sleepy as well, and Nate Dogg on the hook.
Okay.
That was one of Nate's last hooks he sang. We were in the studio with Nate, and Kryptonite was the producer on that one. And we recorded that in North Hollywood. Wow. And yes, Nate Dogg was in the studio with us, and we recorded that. I read some idiot on your on the messages saying that was a recycled hook. And he don't know what he's talking about.
No, so Nate Dogg literally was in the studio with you.
Yeah, I got a picture of it. Go on my Instagram, Mr. D, Southland, MRD.
Well, I
Southland.
think by now people are starting to get a picture that
I ain't no joke.
Well, you know what? They cannot knock your hustle, man.
Well,
they cannot knock your hustle because what you're sharing is that you wanted this and you went after this. You haven't sat here and said you're the best rapper in the world, but you know what?
I never claimed to be a rapper. I'm not a rapper.
Okay.
I don't really like rappers.
Okay. What would you consider yourself? Entertainer, artist?
I'm a young brown entrepreneur.
Young brown entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, before you got here, I was doing some homework. I read a lot of blogs. I read a lot of online, if you will, magazines, especially stuff that has to do with Chicano rap, because I like to educate myself on the artist that I'm about to interview.
Of course, you got to do your homework.
Right. So now, one thing that I had seen that, and I seen it on your post on Instagram, you did a song where you dissed SPM, South Park Mexican.
Correct.
What was the story behind that?
Come on, Tony. You know the answer to that one.
No, I do. But these questions
you and everybody else that believes in God and believes in protecting their children should be on my side on that one. Me and God don't like people that touch children.
Okay. Well, understand this, that every question that I ask comes from a fan's perspective.
Of course.
So
it just amazes me that people would actually back someone that touched a little girl, and he has numerous counts. If you look at the pages in the paperwork, there's in the California system, anybody even has a hint of suspicion of being a pedophile, child molester, they're done.
They're done.
And they're done. In our system, and I believe it's the same way in Texas. That's why he's PC'd and he's convicted. He's a convicted child molester.
Wow.
So If that doesn't get no hurt, it hurts me to even talk about the guy. It hurts me to even think about it because I have an 11-year-old daughter, and I have 2 boys.
Okay.
And it hit me at home that my people would as Chicano because we have the best fans in the world. The Chicano fan base is the best fans ever. They're loyal and they're really good people, but I don't know how anybody in their right mind could support a child molester.
Right. Okay.
That is really dampen the mood right now.
Well, you know what? I don't support any child molester.
Of course you don't. I wouldn't be with you if you did.
Right. Now, my thing is this, that I heard you did some. Now, did you ever?
It wasn't even really a big diss. All I said is, I don't even know what I say in the song, but all I said was,
right.
Motherfuck SPM and anybody that supports him. I don't know what I said, something like that. But listen to the song. It's called "I'm Lost." I should have had you play it tonight, but
okay.
Yeah, check out the video. I'm lost, and it's really this. And pray for his victims. I say fuck SPM, and I pray for his victims because no one talks about the victims. It's like those poor people got touched by this sick man.
No, you know what, and that's a good point. A lot of people do not talk about those victims. Did you ever meet him, work with him, anything like that?
Never.
Okay. No phone conversation with him? Okay. And then on the same song, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, was there a Tekashi 6ix9ine diss?
It was aimed at him, and people. It was just really dissed on his style of a person he is with rainbow hair, and he's claiming to be a gangster, but he looks like a girl, and this is whole persona of this of the new generation of how they could accept someone that looks so ridiculous. And this made fun of everything that we were raised about, and respect. Gangsters respect their morals,
right?
And this dude's taking it to a whole different thing and making us look like that gangsters look like clowns.
Right.
If that's gangster, I don't want to be a gangster or nothing like that. That's why I don't even want to be a gangster. I'm like Quick. I ain't a gangster.
Right. Okay. Now, my next one, and correct me if I'm wrong, but again, I did a little bit of searching on Google and on YouTube, and I called a couple of people. Is it true? I didn't hear the song, but is it true there was also a little Rob diss?
Rob was someone that I helped out a lot, and he'll never admit it. But Rob went out after he left Low Profile. He was a lost little boy, and he didn't know what to do. And he's older than me, but he was lost out there, and he reached out to me. and say, hey, D, could you help me out? You know, I'm going to press this CD. You know, could you help push it for me? You know, what do I do? Show me the ropes. Show me how I could make money in Chicano rap because royalties been burning me and all this and that.
Right.
Whatever. You know, that's their business. But I said, yeah, I'll help you out. Don't trip. I got you. You know, just like I had Frank, you know. And
Frank V. Proper
correct. And OG Spanish Fly also. You know, I helped all those guys out. And DWTX as well. And then Rob came to me. And, you know, I showed him how to press the CD. I showed him how to move it on the street. I showed him how the game worked. And that's when those busters from upstairs came in and took them, you know.
Upstairs?
Yeah, they're a Northern California company.
Okay.
And they signed him and, you know, and he went with them. And that's why he kind of lost connection with me because I didn't think that was a good move for him. He could have made way more money on his own selling those things. And
you working with him with Little Rob, did that ever cause any conflict between you and Royalty?
Of course. Okay. You know. Okay. We're at arch enemies at one time.
Okay. Is everything good now?
I ain't tripping on him. He's, you know.
Okay.
It's all water under bridge.
Right. All good. And Little Rob, have you ever squared things away with him at all?
Nah, but I've seen him. We did a show. He was in the alley by himself, and there was about 30 of us. And I ain't the one that, you know, I looked over at him and nodded at him, you know. Right. You know, I ain't tripping on him.
Okay.
I ain't the type of guy to catch someone slipping and, I ain't that type of person.
You know, it's funny because I saw that video that you posted on Instagram where you had said that diss on SPM, okay?
Correct.
And I sat right there. I think it was late night, and I was looking at the comments. And there was a gang of dudes on there blasting you. And you know what? One thing I will say, I like the way you handled it, man. I like the way you handled it because on my YouTube thing, I get guys that say some dumb things.
Of course.
You know, and I don't throw more wood into the fire, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But I like the way you handled it, man, because you know what? Again, whether people like you or not, or don't like the way you rap, I get comments, and I'm just going to tell you straight up.
Of course.
And I know it's nothing new to you.
I don't even really like how I rap, so it's cool.
Okay, well, there you go. You get dudes that message me, that I don't even know.
Yeah.
Tony, why are you going to have that guy on there? He can't rap worth shit. That's one.
That's cool.
He's not even Chicano.
That's not true. I'll show you a picture of my mom and my dad. So.
No, I'm just telling you what these guys said. He's a white boy. Okay.
I'm light complected. That's true.
Okay. Another one was...
my brother's dark is...
Right. He doesn't rap on beat. Like all of these things, like if I was going to cancel...
I don't rap on beat. Either is Blueface, and that guy's the biggest rapper in the world right now.
Yeah.
So that obviously don't matter. It's all about promotion.
You know, let me say something. I know you said that Chicanos are the greatest fans...
Correct.
In the world.
They're the biggest fans in the world. And the blacks realize that.
Yes.
Why do you think YG did that song local? Why do you think Tiger... I talked to Tiger.
Right.
Or Tyga, whatever, you know.
Right.
Why do you think he made that Mamacita song? It's like they're doing Chicano rap because we ain't doing it.
Right.
And it's like they know where the money's at. It's our people.
Now, that's where I want to go to next. Okay. Did you ever get a lot of shit for being in that video?
Nah, not really. You know, a couple of haters mad because they weren't in that video. Okay. I know my boy Trouble was, and I had some real homies with me in that video, so they can't really say much.
Okay.
You know, the real recognized real. And nah, you know, they could say, oh, he's dissing our women and all that, but our women, you know, a lot of our women love black people.
Okay.
You know, and you know, if they want to go with them, I can't control our women.
Right.
I can barely control mine. You know.
Okay.
You know.
Now, do you personally like that song?
Not really, no.
Okay, you know what? I can appreciate your honesty. Let me present to you a question, okay? And it's kind of a tough one. Okay. I was having a conversation with a female when that song first dropped.
Correct.
And she was bumping it.
Okay.
I don't have anything against YG, and I want to make that plain and simple because my kids like his shit.
Of course.
A lot of people like his shit.
Yeah, a lot of people.
When he came out with that one song, my son played it for me, and I remember I said, "Who the fuck is that?" You know. Then he said, "Check out the video," and he played it. And I'll be honest with you, I was somewhat bothered by it.
Okay.
So I shared this with this female that was really bumping. And she goes, "Oh
loved
man,
it, huh?
She loved it." So I said, "Well, what was it about it that you loved it?" And she said this.
That Spanish feel to it.
Well, he loves our culture, and this was the key word. She said, he's trying to cater to us.
Of course, she shitted on the knob. He loves our culture's money.
Right. So here's what happened. I said this, and this is for everyone out there watching, okay? I said, wow, okay, well, you know what? If he's trying to appeal to us, I understand that.
Yeah,
Now-
because our stupid people, you know, a lot of our stupid rappers nowadays want to appeal to them. They don't give a fuck about us.
Okay.
They want us to be us. They don't want us to be them.
Right.
You know, why are we going to act black when we ain't black?
And that's where I was going with this.
You know what I mean?
So I asked her, okay, everything about that video was Chicano. Everything about it.
Of course, it's,
okay?
it's a Chicano rap song.
Okay.
It's Chicano rap.
So she tells me he was trying to appeal to us. So I said this. Okay. If I was a rapper
Correct.
and I wanted to appeal to blacks, and I asked you this question, I'm asking you,
Yeah.
how do I go about doing that?
You want to appeal to black people?
Yeah, let's just say that it's a question that I presented to her.
Okay.
But now I'm presenting it to you. If I was a Chicano, since he was trying to appeal to us.
Well, first off, I ain't trying to appeal to black people.
Okay.
They're only they're not, our Latin community is a lot stronger than theirs.
Right.
So when it comes to numbers and buying power.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
If I was trying to appeal to black people, I'd be myself. I'd be a proud Chicano.
Okay.
And they would respect that more than me trying to be one of them.
Well, here's her answer.
Okay, let's hear her answer.
She said, when I told her, okay, if I wanted to appeal to blacks being a Chicano, how do I go about doing it? And here's what she said. You can't. And I said, why not? She said, because they'll probably take that as racist.
They would. She's correct.
And I'll be honest with you, that's why I didn't like that song and I didn't support that song. On my end, when people found out that you were going to come here, they right away said, hey, you need to ask that motherfucker. Hey, you need to ask that fool this. Hey, why was he on there? You know, does he think he's black? Like all of these things.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you bob and weave and roll with the punches.
Of course.
I understand.
100
that.
million people seen that song.
Right.
And they got to understand I'm a businessman, and 100 million people have seen me on video. I think it's probably more than 100 million people now.
Okay.
So it's all for promotion also.
Okay.
And it's all that, you know, he didn't disrespect, you know, us as Southern Californians. And I'm more concerned about Southern California culture than the actual culture of the Chicano culture, the Mexican culture. My race is more Southern Californian. And people are probably like, what the hell is he talking about? We're kind of different from,
right.
You know, we're a different breed of people.
Right. Okay. Now, did anybody ever approach you, talk to you, DM you, email you? What the fuck were you doing in that video? Anybody ever approach you? Like,
no. I seen a couple things on, you know, oh, fuck those guys that were in that video, and I got at some idiot was saying that, and he broke it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the thing. Okay, I've been in videos with a bunch of brothers.
Of course.
Nobody's ever told me anything.
Of course.
Okay.
Not, yeah.
But I will say this: early '90s, and this is pretty much where I'm going to with my next question. When I met High C, I met him at the swap meet. I met Dre, Easy, and those guys
at the Roadium,
swap meet. Yeah, at the Roadium swap meet in the city of Gardena. I didn't know what was involved from there. I was just a DJ.
Of course.
Got a record deal. Now I'm forced to be a producer. I will say this about my own raza, especially here in Wilmington. Okay. A lot of them told me, when are you going to stop fucking with blacks and start fucking with raza? Okay.
That's being prejudiced right there.
It is. It is.
That's what's wrong with our people. It's like they want us to be all pro Chicano and Chicano power and Chicano this, but then they'll buy black music. And then they make mad at us for doing black music. It's like, who cares, man? Whatever sounds good, sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, on my first record, I had a bunch of black dudes on it. Right. That was 1997.
Right.
So, you know, everybody talking about black unity, brown and black unity nowadays. Man, I was doing that 20 years ago.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
I don't look at color when it comes to music.
So here's was my answer. Okay, and I said, well, when I meet a Chicano that can rap, and that I can make some money off of him, then we'll work. Now let me ask you this. See if you can remember, because I think you were telling me, I guess you're a lot younger than me.
Not much.
In the early 90s, if you can remember, because I think Frank V came out, 94?
92.
92, okay. Other than maybe Frank V, lighter shade of brown, let's just say Frost, what other possible groups were out there that were possibly Chicano?
There was Spanish Fly from your area, Harbor.
Yeah, from Carson.
You know, there's Brown Pride
Brown Pride. Okay.
There was all that Familia record stuff. There's Night Owl in San Diego.
Okay.
Little Rob. There's a lot of groups back then.
Okay.
Brownside came out in '97, I think.
At that time, the only people that were actually calling me was Lighter Shade of Brown.
Correct.
And Spanish Fly.
There's ALT too.
Yeah, AOT. They went on to form, was it the Good Fellas or so? Or
the G Fellas.
G Fellas, yeah.
Slow Pain, ALT, and Nino Brown.
Right. And I didn't really have much to choose from.
Yeah.
And many of them wanted me just to build them up, shop them around. I didn't really have time for that.
Yeah.
Because I was already working and touring with signed artists.
Of course.
So back then, I did get a lot of slack. And I'll tell you another reason why I got a lot of slack, because the majority of every rapper that I either did their show tapes for, I would choreograph their shows, or DJ for, whether it be DJ Quick, Second to None, AMG, High C. Whenever I would go to an all Chicano event, I'll be honest with you, bro, my own people wouldn't talk to me.
That's crazy.
Like, they wouldn't even talk to me. I remember one day I was leaving, and this one Chicana that I knew comes up to me and goes, "Why are you leaving so early?" And I said, "You know what? I didn't get no sleep. I'm going to go home and rest." "Why? It wasn't black enough for you?" Like, I really got a lot of shit because of it. You know, so I was always somewhat in the middle, you know.
No, for even being a rapper, back then it was considered you're kind of blowing it. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, like especially the older homies, they didn't, you know, they weren't too happy with rap music in general.
Right.
And so, you know.
Okay. So now, you ended up doing a song with Nate Dogg. What are the artists that you end up working with, like throughout your career?
I worked with a lot of artists, pretty much everybody I've ever wanted to work with, you know. So besides you and High C, no, you know, AMG and but I did, you know, none of that crew I never worked with. The DJ Quick crew, but besides that, with Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, I did a song with Kryptonite with Neo on the hook. You know, he was an R&B. He is an R&B singer. Like I said, me and Hutch pretty much partners now. That's Big Hutch from Cole 187 from Above the Law. Worked with Rappin' Forte. Worked with MC8. The list goes on and on.
The list goes on.
Pretty much big part of the West Coast. Squeak Roo from All From the Eye. Dub C.
So so you dropped your album. At what point in your career did you think, I would just want to open up my label and sign people?
I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to sign anybody. Everybody I rap with is homies that I either grew up with or someone brought along. But we weren't like a label, like signing people or nothing like that.
No?
Nah.
Okay. So you were just having releasing out albums and having features.
Correct. Yeah,
okay.
I did solo. I was like my little homie Saint, you know, Saint and Hillside, and then my brother Bobby, you know, early Sleepy stuff, and we did, you know, I did stuff. You know, my boy Casper, you know, they call him Kaz now.
Okay,
you know?
Yeah.
But most of the homies that I really were, you know, new. I just didn't take anybody. And I still don't, and I don't take anybody. You know.
Okay.
I don't even care if they rap good. If I don't know them, I don't want to. I'm not going to co-sign them.
So there was never necessarily a record label then that you were signing people. Okay. Okay. For some reason, I thought that you had a bunch of artists signed to you.
Nah.
Okay.
I'd rather work with established artists.
Okay.
Like Frank V and DTX and whoever was, you know, already had a following.
Now, if there is such a person, I'm going to twist your arm right now and ask you a question.
Don't do it too hard.
All right. Okay. Who would you say in the Chicano game is lyrically the best way I've ever done it?
Frank V.
No
hesitation.
Frank V.
Frank V is probably the best all-around person I've ever worked with. And you know, I just named who I worked with too.
Yeah.
Frank V, black, brown, white. Frank V's best on the microphone. He could write a verse in his head, a 16. No, he doesn't even need paper.
You know what? And you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. When I met Frank V, he was actually a little bit real thin. You know, he was still a youngster. Yeah. And I remember they had me and Ernie were talking about this. And I remember I dug his style so fucking much, man. Not only did I feel that way about Frost, that I felt that he opened up a lane with that song La Raza.
Of course.
But when I first heard Frank, and I heard Mexican Power, I heard Hard Times, Aquí para Frank V.
Something a bump, all that.
Yeah, One Summer Night. man, he was like, at that time, I remember bumping this shit in my Benz. I just got a brand new Benz, and I was bumping that shit, and I really, really wanted to work with them. And I'll admit it, at one point, I was jealous because I had High C, and even though he had a record deal, you know, we were signed, I wanted to work with that guy.
Yeah.
You know, but he was already signed to Steve YANO. And
weren't you guys signed as well?
Yes, yeah, we were signed. And I'm gonna tell you how that happened, because Disney did not want to release it under their record label because it was too dirty.
Of course.
So they said, well, let's just make up a record label.
SKANLESS.
Yeah, SKANLESS Records, and we'll release it under that, but it'll be major distribution to the WIA, Warner Electric Atlantic.
Of course, yeah.
So we said, all right, so it came out under SKANLESS. It didn't come out under
that
Disney.
went through WIA, right?
Yes.
The Proper Dose Mexican Power went through Rhino.
Right.
Okay.
And I believe that album, again, and I'll tell you the way I told Ernie, that those first two Proper Dose albums are the epitome for me of Chicano rap.
Oh, that is Chicano rap. Those are blueprints.
Okay.
You know, those in the East Side Story, you can't take that from Frost. East Side Story and Smile Now, Die Later, those are all the best Chicano rap albums.
Right.
You know,
now, when you first heard those songs of Proper Dose, whether it was Mexican Power or just that album in general, what were your thoughts that went through your mind, man? Because you didn't know him yet.
No, I didn't know him. Well, East Side Drama was a good album too. That was a great album. But besides that, but back to Frank V. What were my thoughts about him?
Yeah, no.
When I first met him, how was he?
When you heard his shit, like.
Oh man, that's pretty much where I wanted. That's why I wanted to do what I do.
Right.
And did what I did.
And then eventually you ended up working with him.
Of course, yeah.
And
we had a lot in common, me and him.
Really.
Him and I.
That's dope, man. So now I'm gonna ask you the same thing that I asked Ernie G. Because inquiring minds want to know.
Okay.
From what you know of, or from what you heard of, where is Frank V?
He's incarcerated.
Incarcerated. And do you know how long possibly he's looking at?
He got a few years. He's gonna be gone for a while.
Okay. You know what? And that's very, very sad because the guy was just so dope, man. You know, and he still is. I'm not gonna take that away from him. I got
an album coming out on him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
A full album?
Full album.
Wow. When was that recorded?
Before he went away to Oregon.
Wow.
He went up to Oregon for a while, and that's where he got in trouble.
Well, I'm glad you said that here, so we can actually push it here. That
it'll come out in 2020, most definitely.
Okay, like around what months?
Yeah.
They haven't decided.
Yeah.
Okay. Any vinyl for the DJs?
Maybe. Maybe I'm thinking about doing some Southland and greatest hits on vinyl.
Okay.
You know, so.
How many records since you started? When I say records, I'm talking about CDs.
Of course, I understand.
Since you started this, how many CDs would you say you have came out with?
Probably about 80, 90.
Really?
That I've been behind or associated with, that I own.
Which one, if you had to choose one, would you say, that's my shit right there, that's the one? Is there one?
That's my shit, or that's the one that sold the most?
Well,
the shit is, to me, the one that made me the most money. That's the one I love the most.
Okay, do you remember the name of that one?
Southland Love Jams, Gangsters Get Lonely too.
Dope.
Yeah.
And do you get booked a lot for that?
Not as much as I should. A lot of people think I bring a big crowd with me or something. I got a bad reputation, and I know there's a lot of artists hated on Southland because we had a reputation of slapping DJs and stuff like that. You know,
it's funny that you say slapping DJs because years ago, and I'm talking about the 80s, everybody can dub a cassette back then.
Of course, yeah.
And I remember Steve one time said, man, there's some guys at the other swap meet and they're slanging our tapes and they're dubbing them and they were making money off of our shit, off our mixtapes.
Yeah.
And we went over there and of course we laid hands on a couple of guys.
Good.
Because they were slanging our shit. And I remember this one guy, brought my boy Little Mario, and this one guy, I went up to him. I had my sister go up and buy a cassette off of him. And, hey, do you have a so-and-so mixtape? And he sold it. She brought it back to me, so I walked right up to him and I wait, man, did you just sell this to my sister? And he said, yeah, Mexican dude. And I said, hey, man, this is my shit. Who gave you the right to fucking dub it? And he goes, I don't give a fuck. You guys sell it too. and my homeboy, ping, 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 laid his fucking ass out, bro.
We've done that, yeah.
You know, and the thing is, we didn't want it to go to that, but you got to respect that. You're fucking with people's money now.
Of course. That's your what you created.
Right. And I remember there's a mixtape called 86 in the Mix, where Dre actually mentions that on one of the cassettes. Since 86, he said, we heard all you suckers out there selling our tapes and shit. I just got one thing to say. And then he scratched in Schoolie D. And if it catch you doing your ass is mine. Like, that was dope that even back then, you know, people were doing that shit.
That's hard.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you ever run into any that you know of, record stores, record stands that would double your shit?
Of course. I was in the downtown alleys. We went in there and took all their CDs. I was asked, and you know, they got their crew and tried to chase us out of there, but we took all the CDs and they couldn't do nothing about it. Yep. And then I got a car show one time. Just took his whole stand. Me and the homies.
No shit.
Yeah. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I guess they had it coming. You know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What is he gonna say? You know.
Right.
It's our stuff.
You know. Earlier you had said once again, and I agree with you that we have the best fans. Okay. Do you ever find that sometimes that some of these same fans are the ones that possibly, I don't want to use the word problem, but possibly diss you the most or disrespect you the most? As far as
no, I don't think it's the fans. I think it's other rappers.
Really?
I think it's disappointed rappers and that they couldn't make a career of what other rappers have done, and I think it's other rappers hating on rappers, and they're mad because some rappers made a living off Chicano rap or you know the rap music in general, and they're just upset about it. They couldn't do it, and they got to wake up every morning at 6 in the morning and go to work. I wake up at noon, you know, and I'm sure it pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah.
You know, but I kind of live my life by the easy East time.
Right.
You know.
Well, you know.
Woke up quick at about noon, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, and the thing is, and I will continue to say this, whether people like you or not, whether people like your music or not, they can never, ever knock your hustle, man. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I get from you is that regardless of what people may say, you keep pushing. And that's one thing that I
got mouths to feed. I can't stop.
There it is there.
You know, people,
if we worried about what other people thought about us, we wouldn't be doing this.
Of course not. Any job you're going to get people hating on you. You work anywhere. There's always someone upset with what you got because everybody wants what someone else has, you know. Right. That's just human nature.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. So we're going to press pause there. We're going to go for another break. We're going to come back. We're going to have another 30 minutes of a dope conversation. I got some more questions to ask you.
Of course.
So please hang in there. You can help yourself with another beer, my brother.
Okay? You need to be drunk.
So once again, we're going to go to another break. We're going to play some more music. For those of you that are commenting, negative or positive, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it's all good. We're actually getting a kick out of reading it. So please continue.
Yeah, it's good. It's juicy.
That shit is pretty dope. So once again, tune in. 2 more songs. Roadium Mixtape DOCUMIXERY November 4th. Tony A, Mr. D in the building. If you're mad and jealous, stay tuned.
I might do not right there. Right here. Rolling through the motherfucking W-E-S-T like easy motherfucking E. Rest in peace to the homie Big Choker in danger and all the homies out there brown side banging. I stay ruthless for life above the law till the casket drop. Still yelling fuck the cops. I keep it gangsta non-stop. I love getting money and women and making Chevys hot. My nickname Big Chevy Hutch. I put in major work and rust up into the dirt. I ain't a studio gangster, I'm cut from the streets. A hardcore rider, straight G. A OG, a born killer, a hustler. I pull a K and bury all you busters. It's West Coast for life, so let it bang now. Cause this is Southland, man.
Out here, be Southside.
With the straight rap in the street.
You know how we do it when we're out here riding.
We stay strapping, always rolling deep.
My gangsta homies out here, be Southside.
We the straight rap in the street.
You know how we do it when we're out here riding.
We stay strapping, always rolling deep.
I got the bass straight, knock it through your town. Catch you smash Pushing smoky loud with the windows down. Chrome dating wire spinning as I smash out. Glock on my lap cause I tend to flip out. Got the call from the plug, say he really up on the work. Catch him out for 2 birds, so he shot me the 3rd. Been about my business, we be hitting every witness. Rest in peace to all my real ones who in the business. I was born into the shit before I hit the scene. It just runs in my blood, this was the future for me. My deals from the barrio, they taught me young to control right roll and never be a punk. That's why I give 2 fucks what you think of me. Rest in peace, wreck, wicked minds a real OG. And Mr. D, homie, roll with me. I got these fools up the block, and they got beat.
Let's roll, let's ride. Still missing my boy. 647 later, boy, root boy. Relax your mind and let your conscience be free. And get down to the sounds of the MRD. That SLG, still a Southland thing. Wicked from Brownside, Quete and Trouble P. Code 187 in the shotgun C. Bumping Nipsey Hustle through the LA streets.
My gangsta homies out here be Southsiding.
Straight rapping the street.
You know how we do it when we're out here riding.
We stay strapping, always rolling deep.
My gangsta homies out here be Southsiding.
We the law, straight rapping the street.
You know how we do it when we're out here riding.
We stay strapping, always rolling deep.
I went from carrying packs of what, no need to say. World's full of dirty rats, tú sabes, no te hagas way. Grind my own lane, designing a better way. Carnal, when you come home, we're gonna see better days. Gave up bitchy fingers, replaced them with a pen. Head triggers made me better, I figured I'd let you in. This gang bang thing's insane on my block. Situation's the same, next generation won't stop. We all got skills that'll stop your tip top. Y'all know the deal, rot, no tick-tock. I roll with a few leaders that bleed what they're about. We're breeding, true believers, deceivers get weeded out. Serious clout, things getting turned out. But greed and jealousy side by side turn into drought. Since the streets raised me, I figured I'd let you know. My boy will live forever, rest in peace, my brother Toe. My gangsta homies out here be Southsiding.
With the straight rapping the street.
You know how we do it when we're out here riding.
We stay strapping, always rolling deep.
My gangsta homies out here be Southsiding.
We the law, straight rapping the street.
You know how we do it when we're out here riding.
We stay strapping, always rolling deep.
I'm living like a motherfucking hustler. Southland gangster, never been on fucking buses. I'm from the city of angels. Around every corner, drugs, danger, danger. But yet still, OG as a trouble-headed Eastside 13. To kick it with my motherfucking homeboys chill. Hit 'em up, South Central, Evil Side 13 gang for reals.
Yo, D, it's your boy Big Mike out here in AZ, man. We waiting for that new shit to crack, man.
When I'm rolling through the hood, I keep the homies around me. Cause it ain't all good. All these haters wanna drown me. The way I live my life, I gotta watch my back.
Skipping on them, dipping on them, rolling up another. Loke, throw it up, dub season, that's motherfucker. Got the Glock cock, man, bird whistle on my mouth there. Rolling through the hood in the Southland. Cheese up, no need to wonder. West, yes, back on for the summer. Rolling up the Hemi, hand on the handy. Anybody out of line, hit them with the semi. Feel this bullshit, get killed quick. I know it's politics, but this that real shit. Mr. D and Dub Sizzling, walking on them. 2 G's getting green.
Skip, I ain't a blood or a crip. A motherfucking SA, reppin' a threat set. City of LA, don't need no intro. From the 818 to South Central. I keep a few homies I want around me. Cause I know them haters wanna fucking drown me. I learned real quick, misery loves company. I'm the boss, ain't no one fucking me. I know the game, I kept it real. Like my boy Hill, still packed the steel. Still a mentor to these up and comers. Watch that drop, you with Dub C, motherfucker.
When I'm rolling through the hood, I keep the homies around me. Cause it ain't all good. All these haters wanna drown me. The way I live my life, I gotta watch my back.
Since day one, I always kept it cracking. No, we side long, beat your mind, the full bracket hoe.
Take a ride in my Chevy with the D's on it. Real Dayton's look, these ain't no motherfucking fake ones on it. Been in the game since 98 and I still got that shit that make you bounce, rock, spin. More power to the people, yeah. Now I understand it now. Cause I never knew when I slid in, that's a little chain. It was wild on them wicked streets of Long Beach. I never left my home, nigga, without me. For suckers, they done softened up. They left the coast wide open. Now it's time to close it up. Real G's in the building now. It ain't no losing when you fucking with us. The G's don't laugh. I'm glad I'm such a real one. Sliding on your ass and introducing to the deal, done.
When I'm rolling through the hood, I keep the homies around me. Cause it ain't all good. All these haters wanna drown me. The way I live my life, I gotta watch my back.
Yeah. Lay back, relax, let your mind go free. Just another day in the life of a G. Staring at the world through these tinted windows. I'm trying to stay out while I stay up in hoes. Dudes are trying to put me to the test. Go ahead, I got a little something for that chest. G17, if you know what I mean. I sound obscene. I'm still out for that green. No question, I represent the 9 on my back. On tension, I represent the 9 on my strap. Cause haters these days are amazing me, dog. You could keep on trying, but I'm not gonna fall, not at all.
When I'm rolling through the hood, I keep the homies around me. Cause it ain't all good. All these haters wanna drown me. The way I live my life, I gotta watch my back.
Bust it. Yo, this is Young MC, and I'm kicking it here at the Roadium with Steve and the Wizard Tony A. And I want y'all to check this out right quick. Now I'm at the Roadium, making my way, chilling with Steve and the Wiz Tony A. Beats are dope and the rhymes are real proper, known all around as a real showstopper. Young MC is the title I hold. Give me wax and I'll make it go. Steve came by, so I gave him juice, but now it's time for Tony A to get loose. Yeah, right. Get motherfucker.
Cool and at a bar, and I'm looking for some action. But like Mick Jagger said, I can't get no satisfaction.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my daylight clothes, or is it just my daylight? Everybody shake your butt. Everybody shake your butt. Everybody shake your body.
Once again, thank you everybody for staying tuned. I was reading the comments. I was getting a kick out of them.
100 loves us, huh? Whoever that is.
Yeah.
Shout out to 100. Thanks for the props.
Negative and positive. Those were dope. They were funny as fuck, seriously.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Once again, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our interview. We got Mr. D in the building. Once again, thank you for coming, brother.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Yes, most definitely. This is exciting for me because I get to ask a lot of the questions that I will eventually help me in a documentary that we're filming. Okay. And I ask a lot of Chicano rappers these type of questions. And it isn't so much that I don't know the answers, because I get a lot of people that DM me, hey man, you should do this, you should do this. I know what I'm doing. My thing is that when I ask a lot of questions,
you're asking for them.
I ask for them.
Of course.
Okay.
No, I understand that.
My first question to you is this, and this, a lot of guys see this as a controversial question. Okay. Why? I don't know, but people are split. Do you feel that, do you have to be Chicano to be a Chicano rapper?
Not necessarily. You proved that when you came out with High C.
Okay.
High C is I Ain't Your Puppet, and sitting in the park, was that the name of it?
Yeah, correct.
What should I do? Slap the bitch until the trick is through. Those are Chicano rap songs.
Okay.
I don't know, did High C or did it bug him to be considered a Chicano rapper?
No, I actually.
Well, let me interview you now, okay?
Yeah. Go ahead, but finish answering the question. Yes.
Yeah. How did he feel about being a Chicano?
No, he actually thought like it was kind of funny, like. He kind of took it almost as a compliment.
Because he's a kid from Compton, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And he grew up around Mexican, so I think he kind of took it as a compliment that like...
He's from the same neighborhood as DJ Quick and YG later on.
Correct.
Treetop.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was ever anything negative coming from his part. I think he accepted it. He
Yeah.
embraced it. And I think the only thing he didn't embrace was when we would do shows and girls would want autographs. And they would ask him, so are you Mexican? And he said, no.
Oh, he was a generation too late because these girls love black guys nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
And the girls would ask him, well, what are you? And he would say, well, I'm just black. And they would go, oh.
Yeah, it was a little, what's the word, taboo back then, for a Chicana girl, Mexican girl to mess with a black dude. But now I guess it's accepted.
Okay.
That's why I'm going to start messing with some black girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the question
Hit me
was,
up.
once again, was do you have to be Chicano to be Chicano rapper? And you said no.
Of course not.
Okay. Now, here's another question. And most guys usually pause, they think about it, and some people have the answers right away. What is, in your opinion, Chicano rap?
In my opinion, I'm going to pretty much look like I'm a hypocrite because back then it's a Chicano rapping. Chicano rapping would be considered Chicano rap, but the norm is, I guess, rapping over oldie beats and samples would be considered Chicano rap. But if you listen to old South Central Cartel stuff, that was all over oldies and samples.
Right.
So it's just, I guess, the old West Coast gangster style music.
Okay.
That would be considered what Chicanos prefer to listen to.
Why do you think so many people are so divided over that?
I don't know. People just are scared of the word Chicano. They don't like that word for some reason. It bugs them, I guess, because a lot of them aren't Chicano, and they're born, below the border of Mexico, or born in Mexico. If you're born there, you're not Chicano. You gotta be born in the United States to be considered a Chicano. So a lot of people are divided on that because maybe they're not Chicanos.
Right. No, you know what? And that's true because half of my family, both my mother and my father were born in Mexico. Half of my brothers and sisters were born in Mexico. And from me down, were born here. Okay. So that's why I asked these interesting questions because one thing about Steve YANO, that he was a Japanese vendor from the city of Whittier, grew up on all oldies,
Of course, yeah.
He signed proper those. He believed in them.
Yep.
And he believed in this Chicano movement.
He was a visionary.
Yes, absolutely. And
I remember talking to Dr. Dre about him. Me and Frank were talking to Dre, and that's when Dre was just coming out with 50 Cent, and that's the first thing Dre asked for. He's like, what's up with Steve? When he asked Frank that.
Yeah.
And Frank said, oh, he's cool. That was before he passed away.
Right.
And
this is Dr. Dre.
That's Dr. Dre, Andre Young.
Okay. Now, how do I say this? Since Frank B, you had Frost, Frank B, who are some of your others, obviously other than yourself, that you would consider, these are some of my favorite Chicano rappers to listen to? Even if possibly you might have bumped heads.
Cole 187, he's one of my favorite, Black Superman, but that's not Chicano. I almost jumped the gun on that question. But my favorite Chicano rappers to listen to was ALT.
Okay.
S.A. Rich Rock, S.A. Daz. And you'll hear a song I just did with him unreleased with S.A. Daz, me and Hutch.
And Daz told me about that too. And a lot of people have been requesting him. But I don't like to tell people ahead of time.
You don't want to let the cat out the bag.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because you have a lot of cock-blocking bastards out there that you tell them ahead of time who's going to be here, and they'll go try to get them before you.
Oh, I understand. They fucked. Yeah, let me go get him before you. I got more subscribers than he does.
That's what it is. So I try to keep it on the down low. But so S.A. Rich Rock, Daz. Did you ever see the S.A. Rich Rock Spanish Fly documentary?
No, I haven't.
They did a premiere for it at USC, and I went there, and it was actually pretty good. People can see it on Amazon.
I would like to meet S.A. Rich Rock one day.
Yeah,
I was wondering. I don't know if I've heard he's alive though.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's very much alive, and it's funny. I told Daz and DJ Tricks that I started working with him when he was in junior high.
Really?
Yeah, I had a cruiser.
Murray Brumfield was his teacher.
Really?
Yeah, that's how they met Murray Brumfield. And people don't know who Murray Brumfield is. You know who he is, right?
Of course.
He was the owner of Familia Records, and that was one of the biggest underground Chicano labels back in the early 90s.
Would you say that was bigger than Thump Records?
Of course, Thump Records was watered down.
Okay.
That wasn't real. That was ran by an old white guy named Bill Walker.
Bill Walker.
What's up, Bill?
did you ever have any work with him, with Bill?
Of course I worked with Bill.
Okay.
He robbed me a couple of times, and I almost had to strangle him, but I got paid. I had to sue him.
It's funny that you say that, because every story that I ever heard about Bill Walker has been the same.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly the same. And I never did any business with him, honestly, and I'm thankful I didn't.
Yes.
But every person that has worked with him, signed to him, or whatever, has all said the same thing. So, you know, if people would just do...
You just got to watch what you... I never signed a contract. That's what got good. You know, I was lucky. He thought I signed it, but I never did. Okay. And he started doing things, and I ceased everything. You just got to be careful what you sign, or be careful who you deal with, you know?
Right.
And, but in this game, sometimes you do got to get fucked to get up to the top.
Yeah.
You know, and it's you know, someone's gonna try to make money off you to make you... There's two sides of every story.
Yes.
You know, so, you know, someone's going to try to make... If someone's going to put money into you, they want to make it back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think the problem is with a lot of labels is that a lot of artists is that when they get that one check, and I've seen it happen over and over, whether they were black artists, Chicano artists, when they get that one big check, they go out there to get their cell phone, they get their gold chains, they get their brand new cars, and then when they run out of money so quickly,
get a couple hookers.
Yeah, you know, the label's fucking me, or my manager robbed me, or whatever, when they really went out and blew it off. You know, and I always encourage, especially a lot of young artists, take care of your money, even though it goes in one ear and out the other.
That money don't last forever. It's just like football players. You know, 78% of NFL players end up being broke.
Yeah.
You know, because it doesn't. You know, the careers are only 4 years long, average. But and as same as rap people in the rap game, money don't last forever. So if you do make any money on it, and I wish I would took my own advice, because I fucked off a lot of money myself.
Right.
But you know,
if I can use this word, for you to either encourage, inspire young artists today, well, in a nutshell, what do you think you have done to have been in this game so long and still eat?
I'm from a different generation. It was easier for us in selling out of our trunk. We can't do that nowadays. So now we're slaves to the mainstream. If you ain't mainstream, you ain't gonna get no money in this game.
Yeah.
It's hard to make money in this game if you ain't mainstream. To get on the radio is impossible.
Yeah.
I'm one of the last independent people to even be on the radio if Gangsters Get Lonely. It's impossible now unless you're a mainstream guy. So if you want to be a rapper, make sure you got a second to fall on. You know, stay in school, become a lawyer, become a doctor. You know, there's real occupations out there that, you know, you're better off doing. But if this is what you want to do, pursue your dreams, and maybe one day we'll start supporting our own people and make the Jewish people at top realize that we got to start supporting these Chicanos, not just the blacks.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not just we're stuck. We're Americans, but we're not selling records down in Mexico. You know, we're not selling records like how they sell, in the mainstream. Before we get away with it, because we're selling it ourselves. So we sold 10,000 records at $5. That's 50,000.
50,000. Yeah.
I made more money than most of the rappers that you heard on the radio.
Of course.
And
people, you know what? And I believe that.
Oh, way more. I'm probably, people you think that are big stars, I made more money than them. Selling 10,000 average of every release. You could do the math.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why, I had major deals thrown at us.
Right.
Major deals, and I'd always turn them down. Like, I do the math. Wait, I'll make that money off of 3 or 4 records. Well, I want that $100,000 you're offering me. I don't want that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So people are like, why aren't you blowing up? Why aren't you as big as so-and-so or so-and-so? I made more money than so-and-so.
And I'm glad you're bringing this up, because I think a lot of people look at that and say, why hasn't he never taken off? Why hasn't he never blown
I hear
up?
that all the time. Oh, this guy's bigger than you, and you're some underground bullshit rapper. I'm like, so what, man? My bank account's bigger than his.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever work with the Capone camp?
Of course. I got him his first distribution deal. Pretty much started that camp.
Can you say that again a little bit louder?
I got him his first distribution deal.
Okay.
All those high-powered people thank me for, getting in the game. So it all comes from me, helping him out. You
were recording any songs with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
A few.
How is your guys' relationship today? Is it cool?
Yeah, we're all right. We're cool.
Okay. It's funny. I never met him, but I did a show one time in thinking Oxnard, and he came in with like 25 guys, and it was funny. They all looked at, I didn't know who was who, you know.
Bunch of clones, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, he's got his crowd, and if he's winning,
he
he's
did
winning.
his game. I can't hate on him. I can't hate on him. He's made his mark in the game, and he got some songs that are good. You know, a couple songs that are good. You know, and a lot of people are mad at him for having success at not being a Chicano, but like we talk about with High C. You know,
right.
Same situation. He made Chicano music that appealed to Chicanos.
Okay. You know, and here's what the word out on the street is about him, and I'm sure you've heard it.
I heard the word on the street, Southland got heat. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and that he used the Chicano culture to get over on us. Whether that's true or not, what is your take on that?
I don't want to get too into it, to politics or anything about and that type of stuff about that. But there's a lot of people that aren't Chicano that are part of our heritage and part of what we represent. You know, so if you catch my drift, but it's if he carries himself right and acts proper and represents our culture right, you know, I got no problem with that.
Okay. Now, what would you say to those fans? Because I believe this is one thing that I've been reading in the comments. Why do you have a white guy that thinks he's Chicano? Can you address that?
Would that be me?
Yes.
I don't. Maybe because I talk pretty proper and I'm educated and I do have a college education.
Okay.
And I you know, maybe that's why they get the misconception of Mr. D being white.
Right.
You know, I showed pictures of my mom, you know.
Right.
And, you know, my dad was from a neighborhood. My mom's from a neighborhood, you know, but I went to school my whole life and was really well educated.
Right. And that's a good thing.
That's a good maybe thing. My vocabulary is a little bit better than theirs.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know. And I don't speak Spanish that well. Maybe that's it.
Okay.
You know.
Well, if Mr. Capone is out there, I would like to welcome you to Roadium Radio. I would definitely love to interview you. I believe that you have an interesting story.
Oh, it's similar to mine. We started together with the CDs. Me and him started selling them out the trunk. We you know, same year and everything. We're from the same class. Him, me, Cuete Yesca from Harbor area. We all came out the same year, you know. That was our rookie year class.
Dope.
And that little Cuete from Norwalk, I don't really know him, but he came out the same year too.
Dope. Well, like again, Mr. Capone, if you hear me, I would love to interview you. I don't know how to get a hold of you, but I'm pretty sure we can make it work.
Capone, trouble moves on. He was busted with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, maybe you guys can hook it up, and we'd love to have him on here.
Yeah. It's his fault.
Now. You know, there's another thing that I saw on social media, and I just want to touch on it really quickly before we get into your big project.
Okay.
There was some bickering going on social media. I don't know if it was just comments or what it was. Was there ever any beef, any trouble, or anything between you and Misfit Soto?
That's that rapper from. Where's he from? He ain't from nowhere, but he raps in Conejo's group. I think I've never heard his music.
Okay,
but I think he's talking about he don't want to be Chicano or something. I don't think he is Chicano, but he wants our fan base. And but he's, I guess, upset about the old rappers not supporting him or whatever. I don't know him, so I don't know how I can support someone I don't know.
Right. Okay.
You know, but ain't no big thing. You know, he's I thought he was like my age, but I guess you said he was a little younger.
Okay.
You know, and I'll check his music out. You say it's all right?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I love his music. I think it's very, very different. I know him very well, and
he's like 300 pounds. I heard.
No, he's not that big. Okay. No, but I tell you what, I love his music. Said on his thing. I think he's dope, but I'm glad that you came on here and at least spoke. You're speaking from the gut, man, and I truly respect that, because most people that have come here have usually said, don't ask me this, don't ask me this, don't ask me that, and never addressed it. And honestly, I'm thankful that you did.
Yeah.
You know, but I had just seen some stuff on the internet because somebody was talking about that it all went back to the Tyga and YG video.
Yeah, I guess he didn't like that local video, but you know, to each his own, you know.
Okay. Other than that, you were telling me on break that you're working on a movie or done with the movie?
It's done. Okay. It's done. The Southland Tale.
Southland Tale.
Yeah.
Elaborate a little bit.
It's starring my homeboy Lazy, Daniel Martinez, and he's the tall guy. If you see me ever around a guy, it's like 6'8". You'll recognize him. He's probably the tallest SA I ever met.
Damn, 6'8"?
Yeah, so he's the star of it. I'm in it also. I wrote and produced it, and it's basically about my brother in the movie. Is actually my brother, Bobby.
Real brother.
Yeah, but he's also It's like we used all our real names, but the story is made up. So it's kind of different, and it's a Southland tale. It's just, I guess, tale means story, right?
Now, this may be self-explanatory, but was it filmed in your neighborhood?
No, it was filmed everywhere.
Oh, okay.
It was filmed in Orange County, filmed in downtown LA. We had numerous locations.
Wow.
And filmed in a studio, filmed in, a lot of places, i.e. we filmed out there a little bit. So
how long has this been in production, or how long has this been rattling around in your head that you said, I'm going to finally put it together?
It's been in my head forever, I wrote it a long time ago and upgraded it. And we started filming at the end of 17, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's been through 18, and it's been, and the editing and the post-production is actually seems more difficult than the actual filming.
Yeah.
So
it actually took us about literally a year to edit our Roadium mixtape DOCUMIXERY.
Of course.
It took fucking a long time.
Editing ain't no joke.
No damn joke. I mean, sometimes we will work 6 hours and maybe we did 15 minutes of editing.
And after seeing the movie, I've seen it, probably 50 times. And of course, me being me, I wanted it to be better, of course.
Yeah.
But the budget wasn't near where it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is.
Did you get investors, or did you do this yourself?
I pay for everything.
Okay.
All
it was directed by you, if I'm correct?
Directed, written, paid for.
Dope.
So
see, now, how could somebody hate on that?
Oh, they'll hate on it. They'll be, that looks low budget. It ain't low budget, it's no budget.
Right, there you go.
But
I had the same thing with my mixtape. Oh, that mixtape's fucking whack. But that guy will go every fucking week and buy my mixtapes.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I get it. So when can we, well, you said next year, or?
No, I'm trying to get it out. Yeah, probably. I was hoping to get some copies, pre copies in December. I'll get you one ASAP. So yeah.
Okay, and about how long is this movie?
It's an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give your own movie?
Heart and story, I give it like a 10, but production wise and this the whole picture, probably a 4 or 5.
Okay, and you got a soundtrack for it as well?
Soundtrack, a double disc. It's got over 40 songs.
Did you put did you have any cameo?
Oh, I'm throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. Any other rappers?
If someone didn't show up that day, I had to
fill in.
I had to improvise.
Okay.
And there's a lot of improv involved in it. A lot of improv.
Any other rappers that we can expect possibly on there?
Frost is in it. Conejo's in it. Trouble. Trouble. You were busted at the time.
Okay, Frost was in it. Conejo was in it. You were in it.
Big Hutch is in it.
Big Hutch. Okay.
Chino Brown's in it. Cuete Yesca's in it. Matt the Repo Man's in it from Operation Repo. Who else is in there? I'm forgetting somebody. Saint, Hillside Caz, Bobby. Like I said, Lazy. And there's some actual actors in there.
And by the way, big up to Caz. I've never met him, but I like your shit.
Caz is one of the best Chicano rappers out there.
So much love.
If you don't know about
Caz,
if you don't know about my boy Caz, check his stuff out on YouTube. Most underrated rapper out there. He's probably the best present rapper right now.
My boy John right here, John Elkins, he did a lot of the work.
Yeah, he did a lot of his video stuff.
That was dope. Okay, so and give us the title of the movie again.
Southland Tale.
Okay, and where can we see it? Possibly all platforms, Netflix?
I'm pressing those motherfuckers. I'm also out my trunk if I have to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'll get them to you, and then I'll worry about who's going to pick it up later.
Okay.
If I wait for a deal to come through, it ain't going to happen.
Right. Well, you know what? Yeah. And we found that out because I had never been a part of. I have been a part of shopping deals for rappers. You know, we found out that trying to get a record deal today is like hitting the lottery twice. Correct. But and trying to get a movie deal, if you will, is almost the same shit.
That's why I ain't gonna wait for nobody. I never have and never will.
And believe me, we have a date. We have November 4th where we're gonna drop our DOCUMIXERY through our website for streaming only. Okay. If we went to a Netflix, we had meetings with Amazon, we had meetings with Hulu, and all of these places. Okay.
They want your certain camera. They want your certain this. They want to tell you what to do too much.
They want to re-edit it. They want to rename it. They want to take people out. They want to put people in, and it wouldn't even be your film anymore.
Wouldn't be it. Yeah.
So I just said no. So it's best that we release it ourselves. I mean, think about this. If we sell our documentary for $30, okay, because it's a 3-hour documentary.
Okay.
If we were $30 and we sell 4,000, which we could probably sell 4,000 just here in LA, that's $120,000.
Yeah, $30 a little high, but I'll be honest with you. I'd sell for 10 and sell 20,000 of them.
Well,
you know what I mean? And more people out there. You got it to more people.
Right.
But you know, you do what you like. But
right.
That's what I'm going to sell mine at $10, and I don't care. I'll blow them out, and if people want to buy them at $5, I'll probably sell them at $5. I'm trying to get it out there.
Okay.
You know, and if it's a profit, it's a profit.
Right.
You know, that's just my mentality. You know what I mean?
So would you say that from here on out, are you still going to continue to do music, or are you just going to get more into the film side?
Well, the film and music go hand in hand.
Okay.
Because if I do a film, I'm going to do the soundtrack.
Okay.
So yeah, I would like to just open a whole other door, and if it works, I guarantee there'll be a bunch more coming after me.
Like me, I really want to stick into doing the documentaries.
Of course.
And I really want to eventually do a movie. You know, I want to do a scary movie. You know,
that'd be. I've thought about that too. That's a cool.
Now, what else other than the movie? We got a Frank V album coming out. Is there anything possibly that you haven't mentioned that will be coming out?
Mr. D, the 187 album.
Okay.
And Cole 187's on every track.
Okay. Is that that's like a dual album together, or
kind of? He's just on every track.
Okay.
You know.
And when can people expect that? Is that still recording?
It's almost done. I'm going to play a song off of it with me, Hutch, and Daz.
Okay.
When I say Hutch, that's Cole 187. If you don't know.
Okay.
I got Trouble working on his thing, the South Central Trouble.
Okay.
You know what you calling the album?
South Central Assassin.
South Central Assassin.
Of course.
You know he's been around for a minute. If you don't know who that is, that's S.A. Trouble. And we're just working. I got a few other albums done too as we speak.
Okay.
So it's just I'll release them when I feel when it feels right.
Right. Okay. And one thing that a lot of people may not know about yourself, and I do know, because you share it with me, you're also a coach.
Correct.
Okay. Can you let us know a little bit about that? I know you say you're a head coach.
Correct.
For what city?
It's the City Ducks.
Okay.
And it's in Culver City.
Culver City.
Correct.
Okay.
And we got a game this Saturday. If we win, we'll go to the Super Bowl. So we'll see. We got to win.
So obviously, in order for you to go to the Super Bowl, your team has to be kicking ass.
Yeah, we're good. You know, it's a good team. Got a lot of speed. Got a lot of power.
A lot of heart.
A lot of heart. We are down. Let me tell you about the last game.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 14-0 at halftime. They get the ball in the second half, playing Simi Valley. They score 14-8. We get the ball, we fumble. They get the ball back, they score again. They made an extra point, 16-14. Goes in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, still same score. I'm thinking, man, our season's over. So we're on the 20-yard line. We lose about 10 yards. Now it's 4th and 20. 2 minutes left. I'm like, man, I got to get that safety to bite.
Right.
So I got two. My best player on this side, curl. So the safety cheats over to the left, and he bites on the curl. And I had an air curl this way, and I had backside post, and the quarterback hit the backside post and score. We win 20-16. So that's how the last game was. I hope it ain't that close next game though.
Did you get the Gatorade thrown over you, man?
Nah, I don't think we had any Gatorade. I think I'm glad they didn't.
Right. Okay. And a lot of people may not know, man, is that when you coach, it's pure voluntary.
Of course, yeah.
It's not like you get a check.
Yeah, my son's on the team as well. Right. That's the main reason I'm there.
And you know what, man? I applaud you for that, and I'll tell you why. Because I took almost like a 10 to 12 year break from music so that I can be a part of my children's lives.
Oh, it slowed Southland releases down a lot. And people wonder why do you stop releasing so much?
Right.
The CD market will start going to hell, but my kids came in the picture also.
Right. Yeah, and my son played football for the city of Wilmington Pilots. They went to 4 championships and they went to 2 nationals. They got to play football in Florida against teams from like Chicago, New York, and we got an invitation to play at the Staples Center. So he got to play a game in there as well. So he had a great childhood, especially with me. I would record all of his games
Of
and
course,
everything.
yeah.
But to me, family comes first.
Yeah, always.
Music, to the side.
Music's,
We'll always be here. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And not only are you given to the community by being a coach, but also you're imparting into your son.
Of course, yeah.
So that's a good thing, man. So for those people that may not like you, have negative things to say about, you know what? It's not hurting you one bit.
I don't even care, to tell you the truth. They ain't paying my bills, They ain't, it doesn't matter what people say, really. In the long run, it don't matter.
Right.
It's like, who said that? In the long run, we all die. remember Easy said that?
Right.
You know how it goes.
Any shout outs you want to give out right now, man? Anything else you want to mention? We got about 2 minutes before we close. And
just be go ahead.
And anything you want to say, maybe you want to promote the records again, the movie again. Maybe I don't know if you have dates. Whatever you want to say it right now.
Dates. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for supporting. First off, Tony A. He's been a friend of mine for now, I think 15 years almost. Yeah. And thanks for having us here. And thanks for reaching out. And you people telling Tony no, you guys don't realize if it wasn't for Tony, a lot of us wouldn't be in this game. He's a entrepreneur in the Chicano rap game and the West Coast game. So much shout out to Tony.
Thank you, brother.
And then just check out the main, number one reason I'm here is to promote the movie. I know we got a whole rundown on Mr. D, more in depth than I thought we'd go. But check out Southland Tale coming soon. Check out my Instagram, Mr. D Southland. Check out Trouble. What's your Instagram?
OGSA Trouble.
OGSA Trouble. And check out Tony's Instagram.
Tony A. the Wizard.
Tony A. the Wizard, the Grand Wizard, Tony A.
Where can we get, or where can the fans get your music? Is that on all platforms, or what if they wanted a CD?
The CD is on eBay and on pretty much all platforms, that thing. And then it's all on digital platforms. That's the Mr. D West Coast Official. That has it's a good album. That was my last album we put out. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments, negative or positive. You're commenting and you taking the time to check in or whatever you want to call it.
Well, they're still logged in.
Yeah, they're
all good. Okay, Johnny boy. Once again, I want to thank Mr. D. I want to thank Trouble for coming, stopping by and sharing with us. I try to provide the best interviews that I can. Once again, for those people that have been hitting me up for get this person. Believe me, I've been trying, but many of them have just turned me down and just said, no, I don't want to do it. I don't know if they're afraid of what I'm going to ask them. Honestly, I don't know, but I want this to be a platform where we could talk about anything. Many times you hear today on radios where you hear the DJ just dick ride the artist. We don't dick ride anybody. We're grown men here, and we speak from the gut. And if you want to come and share your story, hit me up. And we'll book you. Right now, we are booked from October, November, December, January. I'm working on February dates now. So we have a lot more to come. Next week, stay tuned. For those of you that really, really loved this whole music industry, you'll be blessed because I'm going to have someone here next Wednesday that is considered the godmother of hip-hop. And that's just a hint. I'll leave it at that. Check my Instagram, check my Facebook, Tony the Wizard or Tony Alvarez on Facebook, and you'll see tomorrow who will be here next week. I'm excited for that one. And let me give a shout out to my boy John Elkins, because without him, none of this would be possible. Like I said last week, you know what? I'm Emmitt Smith, and this is my offensive line. I wouldn't be able to get through these holes if it wasn't for these guys.
You only ran 4.8.
Yeah, exactly. And my boy DG Media Clips, you can Daniel Jones, you can reach him on Instagram, DG Media Clips. You can reach John at JE Visuals, John motherfucking Elkins. And you can I'd like to give a shout out to Roger Mera, or AKA Roger Live, Boomer, the Remedy Yard. Boomer did it. Kerry Fujita, South Bay Drones on Instagram. And the reason why I named these people, because these people are my team. This is the core that put the Roadium mixtape DOCUMIXERY dedicated to the memory of Steve YANO for the contribution that he did to West Coast hip hop from his Roadium stand in the city of Gardena. So once again, that will be dropping November 4th. So be looking out for that. It'll be through stream only and on my documixery.com. If you reach me on Instagram or documixery.com, you can reach all my platforms there. But other than that, thank everybody for tuning in. Come back next week. You won't be disappointed. We're going to play 2 more Mr. D songs. Leave a comment, negative or positive. Honestly, it's all good. Stay blessed, and we'll see you guys next week.
Just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate, down south smuggling cash. Hustling for gas, busting my ass. Just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate.
I'm up early, straight out of bed. Had a bad bitch that straight cleared my head. Back on the streets, on the daily grind. Stacking that cash is what stays on my mind. I can't stop now, the paper's out there. Fool, there's enough that we can all share. But them gay ass rappers, I'll never bump. Fuck a rainbow head, 69 and pump. Now please don't hate, homie, just participate. Congratulate the ones who innovate. Mr. D, homeboy, you can't stop me. You jealous ass fools can't ever top me.
Down south smuggling cash, hustling for cash, busting my ass just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate, down south smuggling cash, hustling for cash, busting my ass just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate.
I'm out here posted on the smooth grind, trying to get mine. Bitches jogging on the G, cause I keep my shit fly. Bad bitch in my ride, and she holding my 9. Smashing down the 405, blowing kush in the sky. Just dropped the top, hit he switches side to side. Picked up my homie, cause he said he down for the ride. Down south smuggling cash. Fuck with me, you won't last. Trouble be my G, I get that money fast.
Down south hustling on the streets, drug smuggling. Los Angeles ain't when they valley where homies stay banging. Posted with Capone, trippy, rolling in the 63. Sell ambitious circle where you have to be a G. Retaliation straight dumping on my enemies. Catch me on my block posted smoking trees. Bowling on these haters like the 2000 Lakers. Stay in the streets late, have to stack that motherfucking paper.
Down south smuggling cash, hustling for cash, busting my ass just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate, down south smuggling cash, hustling for cash, busting my ass just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate.
Yeah, we in a new day and age. Same book, but if you look, it's a different page. Same thing, ain't nothing changed but the date and the time. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they still dropping dimes. Still in lines, paranoid, still talking about mine. But me and my peeps, yeah, we ain't hard to find. On the grind, trying to make $1 out of 15. Know what I mean? Still rep the green whenever I hit the scene. You must know your moves. Gotta keep them on the low, they slow, out of control. And if you on parole, just wait. Out of state is where you fill up your plate. Just wait. Out of state is where you fill up your plate.
Down south smuggling cash, hustling for cash, busting my ass just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate. City to city, state to state. Don't hate, down south smuggling cash, hustling for cash, busting my ass just to live first class. As the game rotate, I regulate to innovate, city to city, state to state. Don't hate, yeah, yeah, no. Wanna say what up to all the players out there.
Wanna say what's up to the Southland gangsters out there. You know.
You know what, man? I'm gonna say something, man, that I've been dying to say, man, for a long time. You know what, man? I'm gonna say something, man, that I've been dying to say, man, for a long time.
In the street, talk is cheap, you better think before you speak. Also have some backup and at least 2 heats. These streets play for keeps. She love you when you papered up, but at the same time she down low and scandalous. So microphone check 1, 2, 3. I love a bitch with nice lips and love to be on the knees. I'm a baller. I chase paper international, and if a buster violate the situation's critical. I give a fuck if the money move fast or slow. And if your bitch is on my dick, I'ma fuck yo ho. It's real out here. Being stuck on a bitch is a big distraction. Most times a major subtraction. That's why I'm trying to keep my head in the game and touch everything from big faces to real estate to loose change. I dust you off with the chrome throwaway. You another casualty to the streets of LA. Who shot you?
I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shot. God can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody. I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shotty. Can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody.
Now it was once said by an OOG, always trying to come up, yeah, and that's a G. Hustle in the streets, white tee, khaki streets. It's 1992, bumping nothing but a G thing. ESEDAZ, it's me, in the glass house, cruising down the harbor street. Spanish fly, original, Chicano rap, pinnacle. Body full of bullet holes, Latino speeding lyrical. I come clutch with Mr. D and Big Hutch. I'm cold 187 with the flow, what the fuck? Murder sucking MCs like Run DMC. From the west to the east, I'm a Mexican beast. I'm from the old school, like those Nike Cortez shoes. Low riders bouncing, cruising on a Sunday afternoon. It's political, puppets in the industry. Whack beats, whack flows, no chemistry.
I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shot. God can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody. I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shotty. Can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody.
One lonely SAIB, all by myself, found nobody. The sun is beating down on my Southland hat. Still dropping tracks so my stack stay fat. 30,000 in my left pocket. These little busters can't ever stop it. Motherfuckers mad, cause I'm a hot topic. Taking vacations through the hot tropics. OG in the game, still rep the land. Uncle Sam's curse, homie trust no man. 818's the home, I've been many places. I rep it like whack and I stack blue faces. Bust out bitch, I don't give a shit. This SA's rich, no rider hit a switch. She's getting lonely, still bumping. You lame ass motherfuckers can't tell me nothing.
I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shot. God can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody. I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shotty. Can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody. I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shotty. God can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody. I'm out here starting with the what they can't trust nobody. Anybody in my way, get hit with a shotty. Can't tell me nothing like I'm John Gotti. Connected in the streets, you gon' make me kill somebody.